Hello, and welcome to this guide on comma rules. To make the content in this video more accessible, click the Closed Captions button or adjust the playback speed. Many people think of the comma as a breath or a pause in a sentence, but it's more than that. Clear communication is essential, and proper comma use helps you avoid confusion. In this video, we will go over common comma conventions, common errors in these conventions, and examples of the rules in action. Comma Rule 1. Use commas to separate items in a series or a list. Here's an example that uses this rule. The author thanked his parents, Stephen King, and God. The comma before the conjunction and in this sentence is called an Oxford comma, and it's considered optional. However, look what happens when we don't use it. The author's parents become Stephen King and God. Comma Rule 2. Use a comma to divide a compound sentence. As in, my mother enjoys sewing, but she doesn't do it often. A common error is to use the comma without a connecting word like and or but. This is called a comma splice, and without the connecting word or conjunction, a period or semicolon is more appropriate. Comma Rule 3. Use a comma to set off introductory elements. As in, until you speak to him, don't jump to conclusions. Comma Rule 4. Use commas to set off parenthetical or non-essential elements. Note where the commas appear in this sentence. The Memorial Bridge, which stands on the north end of town, was finished last year. The commas in this sentence surround a non-essential phrase, and while it provides detail, the sentence would be grammatically complete without it. Comma Rule 5. Use commas to separate coordinate adjectives. As in, the tall, distinguished, handsome man waited in the airport. Coordinate adjectives can be separated with an and before their noun. Some phrases pair adjectives in English in such a way that they are not coordinate, as in the little old lady. Comma Rule number 6. Use commas to set off quoted elements. Notice where the comma is placed in dialogue. I don't know, said Lou. Do you? You can also use a comma after a signal phrase in a quote that you're blending into your own phrase, as in, the author insists we have a moral responsibility to each other. Comma Rule number 7. Use commas to separate dates, cities and states, and names and titles. In the sentence, I visited my Dr. Sarah Williams, MD, in Detroit, Michigan on July 19, 2023, shows you where the comma separates a name from a title, a city from a state, and a date from a year. In this video, we have covered 7 common comma rules, including separating items in a list, dividing a compound sentence, setting off introductory elements and non-essential elements, separating adjectives that coordinate with each other, setting off quotes, and separating names and titles, dates, cities, and states. For more academic support resources, read this video's description. Thank you for watching. We hope to work with you soon.